night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Cassie and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
I almost had it. Oh, and I had everything labeled and everything. I was all excited about it, and I still screwed it up. Oh, well. It is what it is. Hey, welcome to Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture Saturday night. Time for your weekly dose of pop culture. Kenny, how are you tonight? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. I can't see the comments.
Huh?
I can't see the comments.
You can't see there are no comments.
Okay, well, yeah, but there's no. Okay,
There's no what?
There's usually a section for the comments, and I don't see that.
And you don't see that?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to make you see that.
I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I see it now. I see it.
Now
Somebody make a comment so I can see if I'm on the right thing.
if you're on the right track. Hello and welcome. It is Saturday night. It's time for your weekly dose of pop culture. House. And as always, just again, happy to be here. Just happy to be anywhere. I don't know.
Happy to be anywhere. Happy to be
I gotta
anywhere.
fix some stuff, Kitty. So before we get started, why don't you get started with we'll let you get started with the top of pop culture news, because I realized I got one light on me and I don't have my filter and I need it, and it's bothering me now.
Okay, well, put your filter on and let me talk to you about pop culture news. Okay, so a couple things in pop culture news. Hey, Kirsten. Hey, Veda. We're talking. We're going to be talking about hip hop and 50 years of hip hop. So I know you guys know about hip hop. So I want you to tune in and chime in and everything else, because I made the list and my list might not be as complete as other people's list. So I'm expecting a lot of people to pop in and give their things. But let's talk about pop culture news. So in pop culture news, Billie Eilish comes out because she thought we knew.
She thought we knew.
And she also thought we cared.
Ouch! That's cold. That is cold. Oh, that's just you. You ain't right. You ain't right.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Jane Fonda reported while she was taping the movie with her dad on Golden Pond. Michael Jackson came and visited, because when she was taping that, she had a little cabin by the river that she was staying in, I guess, to get herself ready. And she was friends with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson came to visit her. And she saw Michael Jackson naked because they went skinny dipping.
Why do we need to know that?
I don't know why we need to know that.
I don't know why.
But she let everybody know that she was skinny dipping with Michael Jackson.
I don't even know whether I wanted to know that. I'm not sure that was info.
Let me unpack. I'm trying to unpack this because, okay.
Unpack it. Explain it to him.
Why Jane, why do we
need to know this?
Why do we need to know that you saw skinny ass Michael Jackson naked? We don't. It's a visual that we don't really want. Okay, so next, I can't go for that. No can do.
Oh, this bothered me, really. This bothered me to know that Hall & Oates were like at odds with each other like this. I was kind of upset about this.
They're a legal dispute. Now, apparently, one of them went to court and sold his rights to some of the stuff, and the other one is disputing it. Now, like most people, I can never remember who's Hall and who's Oates. I don't even know who's
Come
man.
on.
You
Daryl
look.
Hall is the tall blonde. John Oates is the shorter, dark-haired, curly one that looks like
And
Baba
that's
Booey.
the way you got. That's the way you gotta say it to me. The one with the dark hair is the one, but the one with the blonde hair is the one that's mad at the one with the dark hair.
Right.
And
So
that's
evidently there's like a whole legal dispute thing going on. So I mean they are
the
like
one that sings is mad at the one that just sits in the back and goes this. Oh, yeah. That's all you have to say. But they say it feels like a divorce because they're very mad at each other. They've
well,
been together for
evidently they
years.
weren't the best of friends.
No, they weren't. They
They weren't
weren't
the
friends.
best of friends. They just got along to make the music. So, you know.
And I guess they're like Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder because everybody thought they were friends and they really weren't.
Ah,
So, and as we all know, well, Norman Lear passed away this week.
Norman Lear.
And Norman Lear,
And
Norman
Kirsten
Lear,
is saying they've always been at odds. So, and
yeah,
I thought they at least got along. And uh, like I said, they a music exec was talking about it on the Howard Stern this show this week because he said they met during a gang fight. They were at a battle of the bands, and this big fight broke out, and they were in the elevator together, and that's how they met, and they hooked up. And musically, it was a good collaboration. But yes, Maverick is right. Hall is the blonde. Oates has the dark hair. And the mustache like Walter from from the Whispers. Okay, you're not right. That's just not right. That's okay. We're gonna lose it on that. That's not right. That's not right. With a mustache like Walter from the Whispers. And all I can hear in my mind is just keep on loving me. No, anyway. That whole Walter from that's just messed me up. Messed me up good and proper. Anyway. So okay, that's how you tell Daryl Hall from John Oates.
Yeah, Kathy, David Maverick put
Uh-huh.
a remix of one of my spoken word pieces, and he does a rap behind it, and we do it together, and it is fire. It
Oh,
is fire. It is
that's
tight.
awesome.
I'm talking to Bate about making a video about it and taking it to the studio. But anyway,
All right.
also we all know Norman Lear died.
Yeah, you
And
said
Norman
Norman Lear
died.
died. And you know famous people die in threes because there
Well,
was
Henry Kissinger died.
who?
Henry Kissinger. See, there you go. We all thought Henry Kissinger was already dead.
Right. I thought
Henry
we said that last week, didn't we? Yeah, I thought that was
Henry
last
Kissinger
week.
died. Then Norman Lear died, and both of them are so old we already thought they were dead.
That's just not right. That's just not right.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Okay.
And then yesterday, Ryan O'Neal died.
Ryan O'Neal died. That one I did have on here.
Ryan O'Neal died. He
The
passed
paper
away.
chase and
Norman Lear passed away. I want to know who is looking out for Mel Brooks and Marla Gibbs. That's all I want to know. Who's watching them?
who's got eyes on them?
Who's got eyes on them? Hall and Oates, though, they're in the 70s. They're like 77 and 75. Could you imagine? Doesn't that make you feel old?
They're that old?
Yeah, they're that old. They're 77. Hall is 77 and Oates is 75.
Wow. I didn't know. That does make me feel kind of old. But then again, as we approach 2024, God willing, I will be 60. So born in 64. So wow.
As we approach 2024, you know what?
What?
I will have graduated high school 40 years ago.
Wow. Are they having a 40-year reunion? And if so, are you going?
Hopefully we can see if that can happen. Hopefully we can see if that can happen. So anyway, let's talk about 50 years of hip hop.
50 years of hip hop. And before we talk about it, can you tell us just like how you picked the things that we're going to talk about, how you picked it. Just give us some insight.
Well, what I did was, okay,
What
what
had
I did
happened
was,
was,
yeah, what had happened was, I didn't go by any specific list. I did go by some, and I did get some songs, but they kind of remind me and jog my memory. And a lot of these songs that I have some songs that have some artists. A lot of these songs and artists are old, like there's nobody new. You won't find Lil Nas X in this list or nothing like that. You won't find artists that I think are trash in this list. I'm sorry, but you won't find Lil Wayne in this list. Kanye's not in this list at all, anywhere.
oh, that's a shame.
That's not a shame. He's an idiot.
but but no, like, and there were some people, some things on your list, and I was kind of like, wouldn't they be a part of, like, again, just when you look at the history of pop culture, like, because a lot of people, even though it's not truly hip hop, but a lot of people consider Blondie's rap and Rapture like one of the first kind of crossover pop, hip hop or rap,
You
usage
know
of
what?
rap music.
Blondie, no, a lot of people didn't know this. Blondie hung out a lot in the hip hop culture
Hmm.
in back in the day. She played rock and pop, but she was friends with people that were in the New York hip hop underground culture, like Bad Five Freddy, because he's in her song, and all those other people. You'll see pictures of Blondie hanging out with all these people. Maybe should have put Blondie in there, and I
Okay.
didn't. But Rapture, it should be an honorable mention. I'm tossed between whether she was really hip hop or was it appropriation.
But you know what? Some of that, I think some of that stuff, that appropriation stuff, they're just coming out with it. Oh, hey, India in the house. Uh, oh, you don't have to say hey to Kenny. Nobody needs you to say hey to Kenny anyway. Because as we broadcast from the North and South, me from North
What?
Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey, but India is right over there in Philly. But but see, here's the thing. I don't think. Saying Blondie, I don't think it's called. I don't think that's appropriation. I think, again, she's taken part of that culture and kind of bringing it to the mainstream. So, if we're talking hip hop, and I just think Rapture was a exposure for a lot of people on the mainstream to kind of rap and hip hop. I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying it was the best, but I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to include Square Biz because
Okay, I think she was kind of authentic about it also. So, hey India, if you're in the Philadelphia area, I host like 6 different open mics in South Jersey.
she
You need
ain't
to
got
come over to
time for
South
that. Ain't
Jersey.
nobody got time for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Open mics. What? What?
I'm just messing with you.
Anyway,
All right. Hey, let's get to your list. Let's get to your
okay,
list.
where you want to
Your
start
50
at? You want to
years of
start
hip
with the most
hop.
influential people or the most influential songs?
Oh, wait. I started with the songs, the most
Okay,
influential
great, great,
songs,
great. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great.
because I
So,
think the Beastie Boys is definitely an influential song.
yeah. Okay, the
Fight for
Beastie
your
Boys
right
are
to party.
influential because it showed us that we can have a little bit of rock edge. It showed us that, the white boys could do it too. It kind of showed, and they were kind of wild, and they were,
See, this is
Kathy,
why I love Kristen.
they were
Kirsten.
kind of,
Okay. Oh, actually, India is saying to send the info. So I will share your
I don't know,
Facebook
Square
post
Biz
so
considered hip hop.
so
Yes,
people could see about your open mics, and Kenny
yeah.
does spoken word all throughout the South Jersey, Philadelphia area. So we will share.
I can't say the name of my most famous poem, recent famous poem that people, they're not famous, but people like my
Oh,
recent one. I can't say the
I
name of that
I
one.
saw, I saw that video.
Yeah.
You mean the fuck shit? Oops,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
trying
We're a
to,
family
I
show.
thought we didn't curse this.
I'm
I thought
sorry.
we
I
didn't
got
curse.
myself now.
Yeah.
The FS is one of Kenny's famous poems. Okay, but I'm sorry. What were you saying about the Beastie Boys?
I was saying the Beastie Boys kind of showed us that it doesn't have to be a brother, and a Kango at the time, because that was popular at the time to do this. and it was it had a little bit of a rock edge to it and a little loud guitar, and it was kind of like the boys hanging out thing, and it showed how who else could do it. Now the Beastie Boys are very talented guys though,
Mhm.
because I'm gonna tell you a backstory about one of the other songs on this list.
Okay.
But "Like Me Right the Party" was one of those songs that made the Beastie Boys come out and everything, that was real popular, whatever. I had to put Biggie on this list, and I put the song Big Papa on the list because it was, this is kind of like um, the kind of like the song that, because this was a remake of Between the Sheets, and a lot of other rappers
Or
before him
now, is it a
used,
remake really? But they usually use like a popular song, like for the bed, like
yeah,
to rap behind, you know,
right,
because that was Between the Sheets. Um, was it? Is that the song?
yeah, Between the Sheets by
The
Isley
Isley
Brothers.
Brothers song. That's
Yeah,
you know what? I all I can hear in my head is throw your hands in the air. And I can't even remember now. Now I am remembering it. You're right. It is the Isley Brothers. I mean, I know you're right, but
I'm
you're
Summer Walker
you're
and Harlem
especially
Brothers.
right tonight, and that doesn't
Yeah,
happen often. So we
yeah.
should
What?
celebrate.
Mike Franklin's in the house. Big Mike's
Franklin's
in the
in the
house.
house. All
Let
right, all right, all right.
me go a little second. Let me put Big Mike on blast. Big Mike has a new love of his life, Ruby. Ruby lives in Florida. She comes up to see him in Virginia, and she makes him really nice lasagna.
Why you putting
And he,
his business out in the street? He might not want his business on the
I
YouTube.
don't care. I don't. He can't beat me. Anyway,
Mike, I feel for
he
you. Friendship with Kenny is a hard thing.
he sees his pictures of this nice lasagna, and I kind of invited me and Beth to come down and try the lasagna. And his girlfriend Ruby said, "Yeah, why don't y'all come down and try lasagna? It's only a 4-hour ride." But Mike told us we couldn't come to get lasagna tonight.
4 hours for lasagna?
Well, it was lasagna, play spades. I was going to do my.
Uh,
I was going to do the podcast from his living room. You know,
So you had a whole plan. You had a whole
I
plan.
had no plan. And
All
Ruby said we could come.
right. See, Mike, that's the question you got to ask yourself. And Mike says, "Why are we friends? Why?"
Ruby said we could come, and Mike said we couldn't come. So you know what I had? I had pork fried rice,
No lasagna.
no lasagna.
Okay, you know what? Let's move on with the list as we talk
So
50
next
years
we
of
have
hip
Tupac.
hop.
We can't have Biggie on this without having Tupac. And "Dear Mama" by Tupac as an influential song because that kind of showed.
This is one of my favorite songs by Tupac. I love Dear
Dear Mama,
Mama.
it's one of his favorite songs, and it kind of showed that you could be a thug and still love your mother. Basically,
You can be a thug and still love
James
your mother.
Ellaby's comment. James Ellaby's comment is not notoriously juicy. Said even talking
It
about
should
hip
be
hop.
juicy instead.
James says it should be juicy instead of Big Papa.
Okay. Well, again, you make the list. I'm
Yeah, well,
just here for the visuals. I'm just
now
here
this
to
next
move the
one,
slideshow along.
this next one I put on here for a really good reason. I
Well,
feel for you, Shaka Khan and Grandmaster Melly Mel.
ah, I feel for you.
Now, the reason I put this on here is because this is a very influential song. Because this is one of the main songs that shows you can take a singer, an R&B singer, and then
Mhm.
take a hip hop star, rapper, and put them together and make a hit. After that happened, then everybody started doing it. Everybody had it going. Now, I wanted to put this is the most famous song that did that in the beginning.
Okay.
I wanted to put Renee and Angela and Curtis Blow, "Save Your Love."
Renee and Angela and Curtis
Renee
Blow. I
and
don't.
Angela and Curtis Blow had a song. I believe it was the first song in the mix R&B singing with hip hop. It was Curtis Blow, Renee and Angela. And the song was "Save Your Love." Save your love for your number one.
And again, that rendition does not help me.
save your love for them one y'all. For the ones who gotta go. Come on, fool. You gotta save your love for them one y'all. Save your love. Save your love. Hey, I work so hard every 9 to 5. Like you.
I'm just not so sure we're even related.
You
It's
know
just
that? Does anybody remember Save Your Love by Renee and Angela and Curtis
I
Blow?
don't. I don't remember.
All right. Well, Chaka Khan and Grandma, and that's the song, I Feel For You is still a song that,
See,
Mike, you know that. Come on, man.
Mike,
You old, man.
Mike
You know that
Franklin's
song.
even going, I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking about, man.
you, Mike is 60.
What?
Mike is 60.
What? You are putting so much of Mike's business out on the street on this
Because
podcast.
I didn't get
Move
any
on with the
lasagna,
list, boy.
damn it.
Move
I
on
didn't
with the
get any
list.
lasagna. I didn't get any lasagna.
All right.
It hurts. And he laughed at me with Mom early today. I had him on speakerphone with Mom, and they were laughing at me.
All right.
So
I know it's all about you, but let's move on. Move on.
the next
Next on
one
the
is
list.
Fight the Power by Public Enemy. Let me
Fight
tell
the
you about Fight
power.
the Power. When I first heard Public Enemy in a car, and it wasn't Fight the Power, it was one of the other songs, but Fight the Power was one of the most famous. When I first heard Fight the Power, I believe I was in high school or college. I was driving with my friend, who I'm not going to name, because now, like, he introduced me to Public Enemy. This brother introduced me to Public Enemy. Kenny, I got something I want you to listen to. And we're driving in his car. He had a Saab. Remember those Saabs? He had a Saab. We're driving, he turns this on, and I'm like, what is this? He's Public Enemy. I'm like, oh wow, this is dope. And the brother now is like a staunch Republican and doesn't believe he's still black. But this is the guy that introduced me to Public Enemy. And Public Enemy at the time was giving out a message, because at the time a lot of people were doing the fun rap and everything, and then people start doing the rap where they talk about the jury and how many girls they get. Public Enemy was like Fight the Power, and everything they did before and after that was still about enlightening you. And then other rappers after them came along and started enlightening people. So
But I
Fight the
feel
Power
like,
is very
like,
influential.
and again, we have it coming up on the list, but I don't know. I would consider like one of those first early rap songs, one of the other songs coming up on the list, because it seems like uh rap used to be it had a fun side to it, but also it had like a pretty serious side. But then it just seems like it's devolved into this I don't know, just mess that's just about I don't know, misogyny and just demoralizing women and glorifying to me all the wrong things. But again, I'm 60 years old, so I'm old and I
You're not
just
old.
act like an
You're not
old
old.
ass person.
You're not old. So the next one we're coming to is MC Hammer Can't Touch This. MC Hammer comes onto the scene. And at the time you got NWA out there, you got Public Enemy out there, you got Tribe Called Quest, you got the hard, you got the smooth guys, and then all of a
You don't
sudden
have any Tribe Called Quest on this list. But oh, I'm sorry,
I
go ahead.
was trying to get some, but you know what? I'm gonna say something about the Tribe Called Quest in a minute. But MC Hammer brought back the dancing and the fun to rap that was early on in rap when you had people like, Jam Master, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and Sugar Hill Gang, the early guys who had you dancing. And MC Hammer kind of brought it back like it's fun. And then all that lines, you had people like, Snap and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Mike, MC Hammer, Mike, used to have hammer pants yourself and dance to Hammer.
Because Kenny, you had some MC Hammer pants back in the day.
I admit I had MC Hammer baggy pants, and I used to jump around and do the hammer and be like this, and the girls would love it. Mike knows because Mike was there doing it. So anyway, yeah, Hammer gets the gas face. Oh, James, I love the gas face song. I wish I
What's
could.
Gas Face song? I see. This is how old I am. I don't know these things.
No, Gas Face is an old song. Gas Face is Oh my God, it's so much. I know the song, and James, who are the guys that sing the Gas Face? Who are the guys that sing the Gas Face? Um, um,
Mike is saying Mike Franklin, and he knows all your secrets. He says you still have those MC Hammer pants.
I don't have those empty hammer pants, but I do have some that look like those in my wardrobe, and I will gladly wear them. A matter of fact, I have baggy pants like that, and I wore them at the Renaissance Fair. No, it wasn't. EPMD was not the Gas Face. The Gas Face was
Uh third
third base.
base.
Thank
Third
you, James.
base.
Third base. You know what I'm saying? Who gets the Gas Face? MC Hammer gets the Gas Face. Ah. Next song we have that I think is very influential to hip hop is "Walk This Way."
Because that was the
Yes.
crossover. And I you know what? After the show, I gotta go and I gotta
It's
Spotify
9
the gas
o'clock.
face because I don't know what the gas face is. I keep forgetting to turn that.
Yeah, you said you had that one last week.
I know I said that last week, so we know it's 9 o'clock. But because it's 9 o'clock,
It's 9
we
o'clock.
do know that the show's half over. So at least we got that going on. But go ahead, talk about Walk This Way, and then I'll talk about some other things when you're done.
Okay, Walk This Way. Walk This Way brought together Aerosmith, a prominent rock band at the time, and Run DMC, a prominent rap group at the time. And it took Aerosmith's old song and they made it into a rap song. The thing about this is that, and I remember being in school at this time, I didn't know who Aerosmith was. And I know there were probably some kids who didn't know who Run DMC was. And you put them together, and the video was on MTV, and it kind of showed people, guys like me, who grew up listening to the local R&B station WDAS in Philly. Wow, Aerosmith. Because I was already watching some of MTV and getting introduced to some of these rock stars and pop stars that I didn't know who were in R&B. But now you put them together with Run DMC, and now I'm like, wow, how does the original song sound? What else is on that album? And I'm sure there were some other kids who knew else didn't know Run DMC. Like, hey, that's pretty neat. How does that sound? What else they got over there? What's else going on? And it kind of brought people together. So I
Well,
really
I
believe.
think that's what I like or loved about the 80s because to me in the 80s, I think prior to the 80s, I'd only listened to like R&B or WDAS and or what was the AM station that was the equivalent? I can't think of the name of it, but
I can't
in
remember.
any case, my musical influences were basically the influences of the adults in my life. So whatever my parents or grandparents listened to, that's all I was exposed to. But I think the thing I liked about the 80s is that there was so much with music TV and MTV and VH1 and all that stuff. I I was exposed to more. So yes, I confess, I went to Duran Duran concerts. I got to I saw Aha. Oh, not Aha. Is it Kaja Gugu? One of those crazy bands. But I got exposed to a lot more. Again, my favorite 80s concert was Shaka Khan, Katrina and the Waves, and Wham, all on one bill. Awesome.
Wow. The Waves only had one song though.
That's all right. Well, they were opening act, so they just had to keep playing that one song.
Okay.
All
So
right. So next
number
on your
five.
list.
Okay, why don't you give some announcements
Oh,
first?
okay. I'm sorry. I was going to the next thing on the list.
Announcements first. Take the
uh,
screen.
okay, just a quick announcement. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. We explain pop culture here every Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to join us. Please, in the comments, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Uh, check out our YouTube page, Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. And you can find out more information by following that little thing going by, visiting our website, kathyandkenny.com. We can also be heard on Who's Got Next Radio every Tuesday night. The Pop Culture Kids are in a podcast. So check that out as we're heard on Who's Got Next Radio at Tuesdays And I think that's it. That's it. That's it.
Ah,
See,
next,
I can't I can't wait till I come down for Christmas break. So hopefully I'll get to meet Kirsten because I wanted to, I know she already has a pop culture t-shirt, but she might need another one because I know we get along. Wham, Duran Duran, back in the day.
Kirsten's
I
nowhere to
saw 'em
come up.
both in concert. What?
Kirsten is not that nice of a person. Don't let it fool you. Okay, so number 5. No, she could be a real handful. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Move on. Move it along.
Number 5, Boogie Down South Bronx Boogie Down Productions,
Stop.
and they came out with this song, and they were like South Bronx, and the Boogie Down Productions in the South. That was like a movement at the time, and this is what made them very noticeable and notable. And KRS-One, who's still one of the great wordsmiths. Um,
You know what?
one,
Franklin is just out of hand tonight.
I know he is. He is. Oh, you know what? You did meet Kirsten.
Okay, was that
He was at the open mic
the
that you
open
guys
mic?
came to, and the
Yeah.
one little girl Skittles did the whole thing that made everybody uncomfortable because mom and dad were looking at her like,
Oh yeah, that was fun. It's like, oh, I don't need the details of your sex life in a
yeah.
poem in front of my parents. It's just a little too much. But anyway, let's move on.
So next we have, um, I'm gonna call these guys the inventors of gangster rap, and it's straight out of Compton, the NWA. You can't have a list about influential songs without having NWA somewhere on there. Straight out of Compton, NWA came out, and it was just all F the police and this, that, and the other, and yada yada yada. I
Oh,
tried to watch the movie, and
did you watch the movie?
I couldn't get through it.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't
Was
get
it
through it.
Ice T's son's acting or just the movie in general was that bad?
I Ice Cube sons. I
Ice
see Ice
Cube's
Cube.
son. Actually, I
No,
didn't think.
it wasn't his acting at all. It was a script itself.
Hmm.
And to me, some biopics are hit or miss. You can get a biopic like Ray, where it's kind of hit and spot on,
Hmm.
or you can get a biopic like this, which is kind of too, like when Will Smith won for King James. I saw King James. I don't think he deserved an Oscar for that.
No. Well, and
Or
again, don't even get me started on the Oscars because do people actually get it for the work that they did? I don't think so. Because to me, Whoopi's work in A Color Purple deserved an Oscar. Ghost, nah, not so much. But again, I think they realized their mistake, which is why she got an Oscar. But that's a
right.
story for another episode.
Apparently, in order to get an Oscar, you got to slap the host. So going on to number 3.
Okay, because you haven't even gotten to your influential folks yet. You put Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force.
Yes, that was one of like the first
Bambaataa,
underground party songs.
Bambaataa.
It had all electronics in it and everything else. It just had everything in it, and it was just the people I saw. And I mean, if I don't know if you remember, but we saw them in concert live.
We did?
Yes, in North Carolina, they opened for Cameo.
When was
The
this?
equipment wouldn't work. Yes, the equipment wouldn't work. And then they said if it doesn't work this time, because they kept having trouble with it, and it doesn't work this time, we're going to throw this equipment out in the audience, and everybody started cheering. I'm like, wait a minute, they're going to throw the equipment on us. Why are you?
Oh,
I
was
don't
this
understand.
at Carowinds or at the
Yes,
amusement park?
yes,
Okay. All right. I remember. All right. Moving on. We're down to your top two for, I guess you were picking the most influential songs throughout the 50 years of hip hop.
yeah.
Okay.
So, um,
And this was
the
my
message,
favorite.
the message,
Don't
Grandmaster Melly
push
Mel.
me because I am close to the edge. I'm trying hard not to lose my head.
Yes, this is a song with Melly Mel, and I think one other person rapped the whole thing, and the other guys in the video just stood there and flexed around.
Steve's in the house. Steve. I just
And
anyway.
the other guys just looked around and did nothing. And but and they called and all
But
everybody
the
took credit for it.
message was
Yeah,
everything. Love that
message.
as
And
early hip hop.
it is a my song to Kenny. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
And finally, you picked as the number one most
The reason I picked this as most influential because I remember Rappers Delight being the first rap song to hit the radio. And we all know that the guys who made the song weren't really MCs, they weren't really rappers. They stole a lot of their material and a lot of material used for Rappers Delight because the rappers that were supposed to be in the studio that day decided not to do it and they had a big argument. And they were producers and they were sitting in the studio and they said, well, somebody's got to do something, and boom, there you go. They did Rappers Delight, and they just stole the lines. And honorable mentioned, I want to say, Push It.
Oh, yes.
I want
Because
to
you
say,
know
I
what?
forgot.
Other than Shaka Khan, the women were like really
Yeah,
missing from your list.
and,
I
and,
mean,
and
really.
Push It was like the first time a woman, then you had Queen Latifah, you had MC Light at the time, but Push It, and the story about Push It is they actually recorded that in a bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In an apartment, in a bathroom, in an apartment or a house or something like that.
Okay.
That's how they recorded it. Because back then, a lot of the songs you heard in hip hop and early hip hop in the 70s, the 80s, early 80s, and everything, and even in the later 80s, it was very low tech,
Mm-hmm.
very low tech. They didn't have the money, and nobody was really putting the money into it until like the mid late 80s. They saw the big industry. Oh wait, there's money in this because they didn't think hip hop was going to last. Rap wasn't supposed to last as long. And then we
Well,
made it last.
if you went by some of those movies that came out, like Crush Groove and Breakin', it wasn't looking too good.
No, it wasn't looking good. Yeah. I watched Crush Crew the other week, though. It was on the other week.
Uh,
So, and, and I left out Tribe Called Quest, a specific song, but the Tribe Called Quest was so influential in hip hop themselves as people. I didn't even put them down in the people section, but an influential people. But Tribe Called Quest was pretty much a movement. And they're pretty much a movement. And the one album that they had, I'm trying to call the album up so I can remember the name of it. The Low Theory.
mm-hmm.
That was probably one of their best albums. I'm going to argue. That was probably one of the best albums that they put out. The Low End Theory was probably one of the best albums they ever put out, and they had a lot of really good tracks on it. So, I mean, argue my point if you want to, and in the comments. But yeah, I mean, they had some of the greatest tracks. So we got the Jazz was on there, Scenario was on there, Check the Rhyme was on there, Everything is Fair was on there. Um, Bugging Out was on there. It just had so many good tracks that kind of made Tribe Called Quest one of the most influential bands that you'll ever hear in hip hop back in those days. Now, influential people, real quick, while we're on it, we got like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, so let's roll.
Queen Latifah. I'm saying Queen Latifah is influential because she took the rap game. Yes, Low End Theory is a hip hop classic. She took the rap game and turned it into a TV game, and turned it into a movie game, and turned it into a theater game. She sings, she raps. She showed women where you can go with this. and that's why she's a very influential person. People forget she used to be a rapper. That's how good she is. Next on all this is Will Smith. Will Smith was one of the first people who took the rap game and brought it to TV, made a hit show, and kept it moving. Now he's a multimillionaire.
And slapping people
Slapping
and
people.
having his wife put his business out in the street. But hey, so goes. Anyway,
Biggie,
keep it moving.
B.I.G. He's one of the most influential people in rap because you can't even say rap or hip hop without mentioning Biggie, and that is something to his testament. Yeah, the Queen is very multi-talented, Steve, very multi-talented. Um, so Biggie is that person where I don't think there's a person who can't recite a Biggie lyric. You
Mhm.
know, a rap. Master P. And the reason I say Master P is because Master P. I
Uh-oh.
wasn't on TikTok yet. You missed Master P. But
Oh, sorry.
Master P, because
I
Master P
missed.
was a rapper who
I
made
was
a.
surprised he was in here, and I thought there would be a few more that would make the list as opposed to Master P. But like, because you didn't put Ice T, and I thought he would make the list before maybe Master P or even Snoop Dogg didn't make your list. But okay, but why Master P?
I'm saying Master P because Master P was one of the first guys, not the first, but one of the first guys
Mm-hmm.
who did some rapping and then made an industry out of it. He knew the value of what the money value of what he did was. He knew how to put money behind. Because Master P, if you know, he didn't put out a lot of music. He produced a lot of people though,
Mm-hmm.
and he started off a lot of people and made that Dirty South sound. He didn't, he kind of blueprinted it for a lot of people that might be on this list for them to come like a Timberland or like a Pharrell. He kind of blueprinted how to make this into a business for
Okay. No, I
them.
mean, I needed
Tupac,
to know. I needed to know the why behind it. So that's that. I need
yeah,
you to explain because it is
Tupac.
Kenny explaining pop culture. So
I'm
explain it to me. Explain it to me. Go ahead,
expanding Tupac.
Tupac. I just love.
Now, Tupac is on this list for the same reason Biggie is. You can't talk about hip hop without talking about Tupac. Tupac kind of sold you the thug life so you can listen to what he had to say. And he sold you on that thug life, and then he came back and gave you a message. So that's why Tupac is influential.
All right. I ain't mad at
Easy
you. I'm not hating you.
E. Easy E. Easy E is a
I,
legend.
what? Why Easy E and not Chuck D or any other member uh of NWA? Why? Why?
Easy E, as everybody knows, Easy E was the heart of NWA.
Mm,
They probably wouldn't have been together if it wasn't for Easy E.
okay.
So sometimes you gotta look and see who the actual leader of NWA was.
Oh, Ellaby is saying you can't talk about South hip hop without talking about Outkast.
No, I'm gonna
You
say
didn't
I'm gonna
even
say
swing to the South in this
Andre
list. I think you
Andre
stayed very East
3000.
Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, Andre 3000 is one of the most gifted lyricists, even though he's doing flute music now. Because he says he's got nothing else to say.
Hmm.
He's one of the most gifted lyricists ever and rappers ever. Like if I was like, he's one of those other people. Like if they told me I'd do a rap battle and I walked on stage and Andre 3000 walked up, I'd be like, nah, I lost. I lost. He's up there with Eminem when it comes to lyrical, and I
Okay.
would not want to say. But these guys came after Master P in the South,
Mm.
so that's why
Okay, so Master P. Yeah, okay, so you did mention Master P was from the South. All
yeah,
right, I don't know. I'm
yeah.
getting
He's
my
connected
education as
to
well.
Master P.
All right,
So,
moving
but
on.
I'm giving Easy E the honorable. I'm giving Easy E the influential because he was one of the most. He was like I feel like he was the heart of NWA.
Okay.
Diddy. I
Uh,
don't agree with Diddy. I don't agree with things he does. I don't
and
agree with
let's
how he
hope the things he's being accused of is
the
not
things he.
true. But hey,
But Diddy um, did make a business out of it.
um,
I personally think that Diddy did a lot to ruin hip hop,
mhm.
but he's a businessman,
All right, moving
and
on.
he was able to do some things and put hip hop in places where you wouldn't normally see it.
Okay.
So that's why he's on it. Russell Simmons,
Ah, Russell Simmons.
because he was the guy behind a lot of these acts, like LL, the Beastie Boys, Run DMC. He was that guy. He
I
was the
think
guy in
he
the chair.
was responsible for that whole Crush Groove thing too. So
Yeah, yeah. He was a Russell Simmons was the guy in the chair. Basically, that's who Russell Simmons was. He's the guy in the chair. And we can't do a most influential people. And there's a lot of people I probably missed. There's a lot of people that should be on this
yeah,
list.
I
We
mean,
can't do a most influential list without putting DJ Cool Herc on it,
from back in
because
the
this
day, who started?
started the whole revolution. This is the guy who started the whole revolution. DJ Cool Herc. It doesn't get any better than that.
And again, just putting, again, just putting those beats together from that initial party that happened back in 1973. Back, before, was it 73 or 83? I don't even know. I am 73, because it is 50 years of hip hop, and I can do math. Okay. Um, so DJ Cool Herc on your influential people. And I know Kitty didn't hit everybody because, like you said, didn't mention Outkast. Uh, you totally ignored a lot of the women, so I didn't hear anything about Roxanne or TLC. But okay, all right. I mean, hey, 50 years of hip hop, a lot has happened, a lot continues to happen. I just,
I can't
I
get it. I
just, I
can't.
just hope and that it goes more back to the roots. And when I say roots, I mean kind of. I feel like a lot of um, the most, let's say, powerful or influential artists were those who said something. It all wasn't just about sex, drugs, and money. That those songs like The Message, that those songs like Dear Mama, those songs that had a meaning and really spoke for people whose voice wasn't heard in popular culture. And now, I don't know, I just worry that sometimes the voice being heard isn't um, um, doesn't paint always the best picture, or at least
Yeah.
people think we're some kind of monolith and we're not. So, uh, yeah,
Hey
that's
Archer, how you doing, buddy? Hey Archer's in the room. Hey,
oh,
and you know what? I just think that and I'm sorry, there's a lot of people I missed,
mhm.
and I kind of wanted to
Oh,
include. There's a lot of things I wanted
Kim.
to
Okay,
include.
because now, as he's mentioning, we were talking to that tonight. 50 years of hip hop, and Kenny was listing some of the most influential songs as well as some of the artists and people over those 50 years that have been a part of what makes hip hop hip hop. So, yeah,
Rakim is a good one, Mike. Rakim is a
yeah,
good one.
yeah, that is a good one.
Mike says it's not hip hop anymore.
What? Who's not hip hop
Mike says
anymore?
it's not hip hop anymore.
Ah.
It's about a dollar.
Yeah,
It's not hip hop.
unfortunately it's about it's about money. It's not about the message. It's not about
What
saying
you,
something about culture or life or what people go through. And yeah,
I want to do another honorable mention song.
okay.
Self destruction.
What is it?
Self destruction.
Okay, I don't even know that. Who's a
You
bi?
don't know self.
No.
When you get off here, you need to Spotify self-destruction. YouTube it. I don't care. YouTube the video. Self-destruction was a lot of the
Put
East
it down.
Coast rappers
Let me
coming
put it
together
on the
and
list.
yeah, and yeah, put it on the list. I don't believe you never heard self-destruction, man. I'm about to take your card. Um,
Pop culture card revoked.
Hip hop is poetry. Yes, it is, Mike. Hip hop is poetry. But I think Self Destruction was that song that a lot of rappers, it was MC Light, um, um, oh wow, who's on that? MC Light, Queen Latifah. It was like a lot of East Coast, Heavy D. There was a lot of people on there, and they all talked about violence in the times of the 80s.
Mm.
And they were saying don't be violent and stuff like that. And MC Light here to state the bottom line, but stuff that
Uh,
out now is not hip
yeah,
hop. It's not
and
hip hop.
I agree with you, Mike. Some of the stuff out now, I just struggle with it. I like that trap music. Like I have to do a middle school dance next Friday. I'm not looking forward to it because I, I j- I don't know. I'm just out of step. I'm out of step. All 60 of my years are going to be showing because
Yeah, I mean,
some of that
this is
stuff
why.
I just can't get
I'll be
into.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Today's hip hop is one of the reasons I stopped DJing.
Wow.
It's one of the reasons I can't. I can't do it. I
Mm,
can't do it. It's just trash.
it's just true.
I'm probably the only person that can't. I can't stand Drake. It's not.
Now
Drake
you're
is
just
starting to be
being
on.
anti-Canadian. That's all.
Drake is starting to hit my Taylor Swift list. I just can't.
Uh,
I can't.
now see, I like Tay Tay, but I'm not gonna
Well,
have this argument. I'm not gonna have this
Tay
argument.
Tay's
Hey,
a pig.
listen,
She's a pig.
it's we're at our mark. So
Oh, we are okay.
don't want to sound like my parents, but I know isn't that sad when you get to that place where you are like your parents, like This music these kids are listening to today, I just don't have no idea.
Well, Mike, you are 60, man.
Why are you putting his life out in the street like that? You ain't right. Oh man, you ain't right. Anyway, tonight's been about 50 years of hip hop. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, Kathy and Kenny. We explain pop culture every Saturday night. Thanks so much. Great to see you guys hanging out with us. From James Ellerby to Mike Franklin and India. Thanks for coming by, as well as Hey Archer, Steve. Appreciate you, as well as Kirsten and
Kristen,
all the rest.
Rita,
Yeah,
everybody came
that I
by,
miss.
man.
I yeah.
We didn't mention everybody, but everybody came
Steve,
by.
Steve was in the house with us as
James
well.
Bobby, my man James Bobby. So,
Uh,
uh,
wait. Mike Franklin has a question. Let's answer his question, and then we'll get out of here. Depending on how fast he can type, um,
you can't
or,
type very
or we
fast.
could just leave now.
You're 60.
Oh no,
You
I
can't
can't.
type
I'm just
fast.
kidding.
You can't type fast. You're 60.
Type fast.
Let Ruby type it for you, man. Um,
Put the
she's younger.
lasagna down and type your
Yeah, put your
question.
lasagna down. And then, why
Wait.
is Kenny?
Oh,
I don't have Batman sheets right now. I have Avengers sheets on my bed. Avengers. I can't
I,
find Batman queen size sheets, but once I do, I will get them and put them on there.
I can't.
There's no change to my game.
I can't. I can't even. You know what? I can't even disparage because I'm part of the problem. Because I was searching all over. I could not find Batman sheets either in queen size, but I did find the Avengers. So yes, he does have the Avengers sheets because when your brother is a nerd, you need to support that habit and addiction. So
Next week, we will be talking about the shows that were produced and influenced by Norman Lear. And we were going to have some fun with Good Times, Jeffersons, All in the Family, and Maud, and whatever else, Norman Lear produced. But in the meantime, in between time, thanks for joining us. God bless your soul and keep living.
Yes, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture. See you next week.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.